Why can't I feel happy if nothing's wrong? You ever fake a smile so well, you forget what your real one looks like? Not because you're lying, but because it's easier to perform calm than explain the storm. And after a while, you don't even notice the storm, just the silence it left behind. You laugh when you're supposed to. You say I'm fine, so automatically, you start to believe it. But there's this moment. Late, quiet, no noise, no audience, where the question slips through. What if you're not happy? You're just not falling apart fast enough to scare anyone. And you sit with that, like a secret you didn't mean to say out loud. Like a truth that's been hiding in your routines, because some people burn out loudly. You just started smiling more. You wake up tired. Not the kind of tired you can sleep off. The kind where your body moves, but your mind stays curled in bed. Your calendar is full, your replies are on time. You look fine. But underneath, everything feels like performance art. You smile because you're supposed to. You ask people how they are, because it keeps them from asking you back. And when they do, you say, I'm good, just tired. It's always just tired, because that's easier than explaining the blankness. Easier than saying, I don't know if I feel anything anymore. You still do all the right things. You take the walk, you light the candle, you drink the tea, you journal, you stretch, you breathe, but none of it lands. It's like someone moved the connection a few inches out of reach. You keep trying to plug back in, but it never clicks. And here's what no one sees. It didn't happen overnight. You didn't wake up numb. It was quieter than that. 100 small moments where you swallowed how you really felt. 1,000 times you said it's fine, just to avoid disappointing anyone. You told yourself you were being strong. You told yourself it was better not to make a scene. You told yourself you'd feel it later. But later never came. Only routines. Only checkboxes. Only applause for staying so calm under pressure. You weren't rewarded for honesty. You were rewarded for masking, for being the one who could keep it together. So you did. Even when it meant you couldn't feel anything at all. You probably know this feeling, even if you've never said it. That slow erosion of self, where every I'm fine steals a little more truth from your mouth. Where you can't tell if you're calm or just disconnected. You still remember how you used to feel things. You think you remember. But now it's like reaching for a memory through fog. There's this moment, always late at night, when the noise finally stops. No texts, no meetings, no pressure to perform. Just you. And silence. And the question that won't leave you alone. Why does peace feel like pretending? You think about the last time you really felt present. The last time joy didn't feel like acting. You come up blank. You scroll. You eat. You clean your apartment at midnight because stillness makes the emptiness louder. You start 5 shows and finish none of them. Not because you're distracted, but because nothing hooks anymore. You laugh, but it's delayed. You cry, but it's dry. Even your emotions feel distant. Here's the part that still stings. You didn't always used to be like this. You used to feel everything. Too much, even. You remember being 6, saying something honest and being told, don't be dramatic. You remember being 12, breaking down in the hallway and hearing, keep it together, okay? You remember being 17, spilling a truth to a friend and watching their face freeze. It doesn't take many of those moments, just a few. To teach you that honesty is dangerous, that peace isn't what you feel. It's how well you hide what you feel. So you adapted. You taught yourself how to be chill, how to be the one who doesn't make it heavy. Now, years later, it's second nature. You don't even notice the mask anymore. It just fits. But here's what no one tells you. You can't suppress one emotion without numbing the rest. You hide the sadness and joy slips with it. You quiet the panic and peace fades too. You thought you were managing your feelings, but really, you've been slowly locking the door on yourself, one feeling at a time, one fake laugh at a time. Until now, you don't know how to open it again. Sometimes you think it's your fault. You tell yourself, I'm just not trying hard enough. You download another habit tracker. You set more alarms. You drink water. You do yoga. But nothing breaks through. Not because you're lazy, not because you're broken, because this isn't about doing more. It's about everything you've silenced just to survive. And then without warning, it shows up again, that moment. Someone asks how you're doing, and you almost say the truth. You almost say, I don't feel like myself lately. But you smile instead, you nod, You say all good, and the loop resets. You know how it ends. But somehow, it still surprises you. The day keeps going, the sun sets, you lie in bed, you scroll past 3 videos about burnout, 4 memes about overthinking, and 5 posts that sound a little too much like your life. But you just keep scrolling, because admitting it, saying it out loud, feels like peeling off armor you forgot was skin. And if you take it off, you're not sure what's underneath. And this is where something quietly broke. Not in a way anyone could see. Not with crying or collapse. Just a moment so quiet you almost missed it. You caught yourself smiling in the mirror, but it wasn't yours. It didn't feel like it belonged to anyone. You used to believe emotions were something you had. Now they're just something you stage. Reactions on autopilot. Joy as a placeholder. And somewhere in that cycle, you stopped knowing the difference between pretending and feeling. You still go to dinner, still laugh at texts, still nod when people say they're proud of how strong you are. But some nights, you stare at the ceiling and wonder, what if no one ever really knew me, because I never felt safe enough to show them? You didn't mean to disappear. You just never came back. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was how normal it started to feel. How silence became a skill. How emptiness became a rhythm you could time your life around. You check your own face like a stranger would. You listen to yourself talk and wonder who you're performing for. You say, I just need a break, but you're not sure what from, because nothing's happening, and still, you're exhausted. This isn't about stress, this is about erosion. Slow, invisible, daily. Right here is where you got used to disappearing. Not all at once, in pieces. Tiny, polite disappearances. You stopped talking about your needs. You started saying whatever works. You ghosted your own desires before anyone else could. And every time you said, I'm okay, when you weren't, you gave yourself permission to vanish just a little more. Until now, you don't even flinch when peace feels like distance. You just accept it, like that's what functioning is supposed to feel like. What if every strength you built was just a better disguise for pain? What do you do when rest feels more dangerous than exhaustion? What if survival became your only success, and you forgot to check if you're still alive inside it? This is when the silence started to scream. You scroll through memories trying to spot yourself, but every version feels a little off. Like someone copied your outline, but left the inside blank. You were there, but not really. Smiling, but not really. Living, but only in the parts people could see. And this is the part you've never said out loud. You don't know how to come back. Not to others, to yourself. Because what if the mask isn't just hiding you? What if it became you? And if you take it off, what's left? It didn't fall apart, it faded, and no one noticed but you. Maybe it was never about breaking. Maybe it was about how long you could stay silent before something inside you stopped waiting. You kept going. That's what people saw. But they didn't see what you left behind to keep moving. Not joy, not dreams, just the part of you that used to feel like you. You told yourself it was just a phase, just stress, just life. But somewhere in the routine, you stopped asking how you feel, because you stopped expecting an answer. There are days now where you can't remember what peace felt like, only that it was real once, somewhere. Before the performance became muscle memory, before stillness started feeling sharp. And maybe you wouldn't even know what to do with peace now, not because you don't want it, but because you forgot how to trust it when it shows up. What if you didn't lose yourself? What if you just stopped looking because it hurt too much to not find anything? What if you've never actually been okay, just really, really good at acting like it? It's strange how quiet the pain can be when it settles, how even grief forgets to raise its voice after a while. You don't scream, you don't shake, you just blink slower, think softer, move like you're underwater. No one asks why your eyes don't light up anymore, because you still show up. And that's enough for most people. But you know better now. You know the difference between showing up and being there. It's not that you're broken, it's that the silence got used to you, and now you don't know how to tell it to leave. So maybe don't. Not yet. Just sit with it. Let the ache stretch its legs. Let the questions stay unanswered a little longer. You've run from yourself long enough. You don't owe recovery. You just deserve rest.